Dubai is a parody of the 21st century.
When we hear the word...
All I can ever think about when I hear Dubai is that terrible ass Fast and Furious movie where they're like driving through the big ass buildings and like Ronda Rousey is in it. But that was before Ronda Rousey got her ass beat like 3 times in a row and then decided to become a wrestler instead. But so that's all I can ever think of when I associate the idea of Dubai with stuff. That and like if you have weed, you get fucking, I don't know, like thrown in jail or something.
When we hear the word Dubai, most of us picture towering skyscrapers, immense wealth, police with Lamborghinis, 7-star hotels with the absolute cream of society inside them. Also the Palm Islands, the World Islands, the Burj Khalifa, the Burj Al Arab, futuristic symbols of incredible wealth. And so in light of all that, I'm here to make the case that Dubai, the Emirates, and the Gulf countries in general are one of the worst places on the planet. Now this is a rather bold claim, I realize, but it's one that I can substantiate fully. So let's take a look at what's really behind the glitz and glamour, the true face of Dubai and the Gulf countries. To better understand what's going on in a place like Dubai, first let's talk about Romania.
Sure.
In the decades following World War II, Bucharest, the capital, came to face the same problem as many
Imagine cars and stuff moving around on the street. Okay, I'll imagine.
Eastern European capitals did at the time. As urbanization increased and huge residential areas were built out, the need arose for new, high-capacity public transportation. And so Nicolae Ceausescu, the dictator of Romania back in the day, gave out the order to construct a metro line. And so the engineers created a line proposal and presented it to him. And then Ceausescu was like, no, I will design the route personally. And so the former shoemaker assistant, who also called himself the genius of the Carpathians, I am not making this up, sat down and redesigned the entire metro line to have it run along the river underneath. Yes, along. But Nicolae Ceausescu's wife, Elena Ceausescu, a former textile factory worker, also got her fair share of planning. Reportedly, when the planners presented the final version of the metro line to the Ceausescu couple, Elena Ceausescu reportedly asked why the metro would stop inside the inner city at Piața Romana, inquiring what kind of factories there are. The planners told her there aren't any factories, but there is the Bucharest University of Economics where there are lots of students. Hearing that, Elena Ceausescu reportedly said, "Students? They've gotten fat, they grew a belly, they should walk. No station at Romana, let them walk." And so, since Nicolae Ceausescu
So what you're saying is they're fucking stupid. Ah, okay.
who added nothing to that and nobody else dared to oppose his wife, the station was axed from the plans. But of course everyone outside of the dictator power couple knew that this was fucking stupid. And so the engineers, having enough foresight, decided to build the station in secret, banking on the fact that they would need to build a station there anyway due to future public pressure.
Wow. Fucking bold. Let's go against their stupid ass idea and just do it yourself. Props.
And they were correct. The end result was this ridiculous and dangerously narrow station, since the engineers couldn't build a normal station hall, since they had to disguise their little secret project as regular tunnel boring. And so the moral of the story is, smooth brain dictator plus construction equals dumb shit. And boy, what a perfect segue this is to the video's actual subject, Dubai.
Really?
The city of Dubai is a fucking joke. It's a tasteless parody of everything wrong with modern humanity. And so why do I say that? Let's go through it, shall we?
The monument to idiocy. Oh god.
Now in my video about skyscrapers, I have already talked about the Burj Khalifa. It's a big dumb tower of glass and steel stuck in the middle of the desert, serving no other purpose than a petrodollar fueled dick measuring contest. And the building even has its own poem about itself.
I'm the power that lifts the world's head proudly skyward, surpassing limits and expectations. Wait, there's literally a poem about this? I define moments for future generations.
Like seriously, how pretentious can you get?
I am the life force of collective aspirations and the aesthetic union of many cultures. I simulate dreams, stir emotions, and...
What the hell is that noise?
What?
Oh no, it's the poop trucks. Yeah, did you know that the Burj Khalifa isn't connected to its sewage system? So every single day a huge line of poop trucks have to queue up next to the building and suck out all the poop.
What? What? That sounds fucking ridiculous. What? The poop trucks. Yes, that's right. I'm told they can wait up to 24 hours before they get to the head of the queue. Now, there's a municipal system that's being invested in, and I'll assume they'll connect all these tall buildings at some point or in the near future, but they're certainly not alone. In India, many buildings are responsible for providing their own water and their own wastewater removal. India doesn't have the amount of money Dubai and its real estate developers have. That's why it surprises me so much. A sewage system may be complex, but it's not more complex than building these huge structures or their monorail. So in one way, there's so, oh my God, I define dreams and fucking expectations for future generations. Oh my God, there's this like poem. And yet, oh, excuse me, there's a guy with a bucket walking by with your shit in it. What?
Up next to the building and suck out all the poop. So Ammar's ambition and Dubai's shining dream included the world's tallest skyscraper, but not a sewer system. And besides, I've talked about this before in the skyscrapers video, there's actually not much point to building a skyscraper. Like, the only situation where it might make sense is when you're physically out of space, but trust
me. Yeah, like New York City, maybe, because New York's fucking packed. This, I mean, look at the fucking free land. You know what I mean? Like, New York, they literally built upward because going outward wasn't viable anymore. There was too many people. The population could not fill up if they built houses. So they built skyscrapers going up to ensure that people could fucking, like, or businesses and shit.
Trust me, Dubai does not have this problem, which ties into the next suspects.
Soon to be Atlantis.
Dubai's Palm Islands are the OG symbols of the city. The construction of the first one, the Palm Jumeirah, started in 2001, if you can believe that. And according to Google's satellite images, it's still not finished, it's still getting built out. And just for good measure, let's take a look at what they actually built here. I mean, these things do look nice from space, but what are they really, from up close and personal? Well, the stem is an 8-lane urban freeway, and the leaves are just individual suburban streets. Oh, and there's also a monorail in the middle. Oh, and between The Point and Nakheel Mall, there are no stations. So then, how do people living on the leaves get on this thing? Well, it's a rhetorical question, of course. Just like the real suburbs in America, this thing was built around cars. And the second palm, the Jebel Ali, will be more the same. And then there are the World Islands, of course, which are just a complex of tiny islands for the ultra-rich and their villas. And, oh my god, this looks outright post-apocalyptic, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh, and there's a third palm under construction if the two weren't enough. Oh, and by the way, the sand they use for the palms is not desert sand. They can't use it because the grains are too big. Instead, they have to get the sand from the seafloor. And they achieve this by sucking it up with these big tanker ships. And also annihilating acres of marine life in the process. Oh, and by the way, these...
Yeah, fuck the environment. Let's build Atlantis. Oh my god, look, it looks so fucking fancy. This seems horrible, actually. Damn, what the fuck? Fast and Furious give me a horrible image of this fucking place. Another reason to hate the franchise.
These Palm Islands were built on top of natural coral reefs, which they just ended up basically burying. Oh, and according to NASA measurements, all these islands are sinking at a rate of 5 millimeters per year. And by the way, have you heard about this thing called the rising sea levels? According to the Environment Agency Abu Dhabi, under the most severe climate change scenario, nearly all of Dubai, including the Palm Islands, would be underwater. Alright, so let me get this straight. You had all the money and power in the world to create anything, and you have paid money to annihilate a coral reef to build a sinking suburb on top of it. Perhaps I treated you too harshly. And here's the kicker about these islands. That's right, I'm still not done. Why build them on the sea to begin with? I mean, you have the desert. You have all the space you will ever need. So why not just build the palms inverted into the land?
Yeah,
you know, having the actual body of the palm not out of sand but out of water. It would look just as impressive from space, and it wouldn't even demolish all the aquatic life.
That's such a good idea. You would just build out instead just fucking make the land into dirt and the dirt into land, and you would have natural bodies of water surrounding the villas and shit. Oh my god, that's so much better.
Hang on a second, they did do something like this already, just below the palm tree. And, oh no, these are American-style suburbs? Oh man. I can't believe it. They took the worst urbanism practices from the US and they implemented it one-to-one. And we actually have all the circles of urbanism hell in here.
Yeah!
City-based housing,
go USA!
Giant highways cutting through the area, no public transportation, a 12-lane arterial road, Jesus Christ. And so this will be our segue to...
Desert Futurama.
Dubai's urbanism in general is just complete bonkers. It's kind of its own little bubble, really. A strange little rich people's dystopia in the desert. Take a look at this arrangement. 2 sections of skyscrapers separated by a 20-something lane freeway, and behind it a bunch of cul-de-sac suburbs and golf courses. It's this strange mixture between Futurama and evil Los Angeles. And this just makes me feel so frustrated because all that money and all that power, they could have done so much more and so much better than this. The way I understand it, the main motive behind building all this flashy stuff was to try and increase tourism, to help the Emirates economy transition away from oil revenues, which is, you know, fair enough. But then why not build something truly unique? Something that isn't just a big dumb tower of glass and steel, or a couple dozen suburban streets.
But like, objectively speaking, what is the point of going to Dubai? And I know he said like tourism, right? Because they're trying to like what do I gain from going to Dubai? Because I'm actually not sure, other than like being able to say that you've been to Dubai, and like people on Instagram seem to make it a huge fucking deal. Like, oh my god, I'm going to Dubai. Like, wow, and I got my best new bikini and shit. Like, seriously, what's the fucking point of going to Dubai? Of like, as opposed to just a regular beach or like a resort or something. I don't see the point.
It's on sinking.
Like the attraction there.
Sandbanks, or gigantic malls or golf courses. Imagine a city with full-on historic Arabic Golden Age architecture with modern elements. Okay, this is concept art from Diablo 3, but you get the idea.
I was gonna say, it looks like fucking Dorne from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I have seen skyscrapers, malls, suburbs, urban freeways, or golf courses before. What I haven't seen is a historical or at least historicist Arab city. That would be a great way of spending all those petrodollars, or at least a better way, I would say. And that might even attract a more quality crowd instead of the oligarchs, trust fund babies, and Novo-Irish idiots. Okay, that's a bit unfair, but Dubai right now is not exactly a haven of intellectualism, so to speak. By the way, did you know that only 10% of the Emirates population is actually Emirati? The other 90% being immigrants and expats. Well, actually, they're all immigrants. It's just that white people came up with this word expat, so they don't have to call themselves immigrants abroad because that word is reserved for brown people. Speaking of which...
Jesus. Slave state. What? Slaves.
And this right here is my biggest problem with Dubai, the Emirates, and the Gulf states in general. All that luxury, wealth, and opulence you see all around you in Dubai rests on a mountain of human tragedies. Poor people from third world countries such as India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh are lured in by work agencies promising high wages and stable employment. People take loans from friends and family so they can cover the costs of their travel and work visa, usually more than $2,000, despite Emirati law requiring the companies to pay for those. Upon arrival, workers' passports are often confiscated, essentially trapping them inside the country.
The fuck?
Workers are forced to work up to 12-hour shifts, up to 7 days a week, for $175 per month.
$106 per month, or 35 cents an hour? Wait, this is actually fucking horrible. This isn't even close to fucking legal. Wow, that's fucking terrible. And, okay, confiscating their passports so they can't leave? What?
On average. Wage arrears are common, many workers not receiving money for months on end. To quote from a Human Rights Watch report, the
employers routinely hold the first 2 months' wages as a security to prevent the worker from absconding. Man, fuck you. Where am I supposed to fucking eat? How am I supposed to survive if I don't have wages for 2 months, you fucking morons?
impact on workers whose wages are withheld for even 1 month is very serious. They immediately fall into arrears on the debt they owe recruiting agencies in their home countries.
And then it said they charge them like $2,000-$3,000 from the work agencies. This is fucked.
They incur additional interest, and they are unable to send money home for their families.
So they pay money. They're lied to and given and told, hey, there's like this fucking crazy job opportunity in Dubai where you can make a lot of money and blah blah blah. They have to pay $2,000 to $3,000 to get all the paperwork and shit ready to go in the work visa, which is already illegal based on what it said. Then they get their passport, go over there, and it gets confiscated, so they can't go back. And then they don't get paid for 2 months because employers have a bullshit custom to not pay their employees. This is fucking horrible.
Who depend on their income earnings.
So then they fall behind in debt and are permanently in this hole. So they can't leave and they can't fucking pay their bills.
Emirates. In some cases, the non-payment of wages means that workers do not have money to buy food or basic goods and end up borrowing money just to survive. The COVID epidemic only made things worse. That and the oil price crashing left many workers jobless. Consequently, many were abandoned by their former employers. They now spend their days in half-abandoned worker camps on the outskirts of the city. Only volunteers and their food donations standing between them and starvation.
That's fucked
A Guardian
up,
article
man.
quotes a construction worker called Hassan. He says,
Oh my god, Hassan.
"Guests on and off visit and give something, but when nobody comes, we have to starve. We have nothing."
That is
all this just
incredibly
a few
fucking
kilometers
sad.
away from the 7-star hotels, the world's tallest skyscraper, the world's biggest mall, and the golf courses for rich foreigners. According to the estimates of the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, between 2012 and mid-2018, more than 10 Indian workers died in Gulf countries every single day. And these are just the Indians. In addition to that, a Jezebel article goes on to say that at least 2 Indians commit suicide every single week in the Emirates. A number, they say, that is simultaneously both shocking yet unsurprising. They show photos of the accommodation the workers have to endure, unfit even for animals. A harsh contrast to Instagram's parallel universe. They call this system modern slavery, and I'm afraid they are correct. This and the previously mentioned issues, but especially
I had my like preconceived notions about it, and I thought, hey, it's just a bunch of fucking rich douchebags, right? Going over there, blah blah blah. I never realized just how fucking horrible the human rights violations were there. I had no fucking idea about that. This is fucking horrible. Like now my perspective has shifted completely. Fuck this place.
this is why I hate the Emirates and especially fucking hate Dubai.
Seriously, fuck that place. Like, genuinely.
The city of Dubai is a fucking joke. One that's unusually cruel. It's a twisted parody of everything wrong with modern humanity. I'll leave you with a poem from Bertolt Brecht, written in 1935, titled Questions from a Worker, who reads, Who built Thebes of the 7 gates? In the books you will read the names of kings. Did the kings haul up the lumps of rock?
Damn.
And Babylon, many times demolished. Who raised it up so many times? In what houses of gold glittering Lima did its builders live? Where, the evening that the Great Wall of China was finished, did the masons go? Great.
That's fucking insane how there's a poem from 1935 that resonates so fucking clearly in the year 2022.
Rome is full of triumphal arches. Who erected them? Over whom did the Caesars triumph? Had Byzantium, much praised in song, only palaces for its inhabitants?
You think about that. Yeah, you think of the fucking Roman Colosseum. God, look how incredible that is. Damn, praise Caesar. Who fucking built it? Who slaved away and built that shit?
Even in fabled Atlantis, the night that the ocean engulfed it, the drowning still cried out for their slaves. The young Alexander conquered India. Was he alone? Caesar defeated the Gauls. Did he not even have a cook with him? Philip of Spain wept when his armada went down. Was he the only one to weep? Frederick II won the 7 Years' War. Who else won it? Every page a victory. Who cooked the feast for the victors?
This is the most based fucking poem of all time.
Every 10 years a great man. Who paid the bill? So many reports, so many questions.
So fucking Giga Chad. Oh my god. That is
Thank
such a
you for watching.
strong
I'm
ending
sorry
to this
the video
video.
took such a dark turn in the end, but as I was looking up stuff for Dubai for the video, I kept encountering more and more just alarmingly fucked up information. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, thank you for watching once again, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and do check out my Patreon tiers, link in the description. And I'll see you next time.
What a fucking insanely good video. Like, what a good video. Damn. And it's so educational. Like, I'm actually, honestly, fuck Dubai. Actually, fuck that place. Like, I have no interest in ever being given the opportunity. I will never fucking go there. Why the fuck would I want to go somewhere that enables fucking modern slave labor? Fuck that place. That's horrible. Wow.